Hello there guys and welcome back to the channel. So we're back again with another Alliance War video as New Nation against NXS. And they're definitely very capable alliance as well. They did beat Kenobi, I think, in the previous war, so we definitely knew we're in for quite hard fight. Unfortunately, as it often is the case with the weekend wars, the ones that typically happen on Sundays, anything can happen, and definitely either one of the teams did not perform to their best. So for this war, I actually don't have too many fights. I'm packing Kingpin, Hood, and Nimrod. I'm only going to use Kingpin for one fight, which is actually going to be a fairly dodgy fight, but I do have good reasons to do what I did in that fight, and then Nimrod for the rest. Now, the first fight that I do have to do is going to be Domino on path 9 on Hazard Shift Lane. Now, the nodes there have actually been changed up a bit, so I had to look into it a fair amount as well, because she goes indestructible whenever I reach first bar of power, and she has power focus 1 herself, and that actually is quite annoying for Domino. So I will be boosting up fairly heavily here. I'm also going to activate skill boosts for the Kingpin fight. Now, I did forget to activate one boost that I will comment on later, but before that, we do need to deal with this Domino fight. So, obviously, Nimrod is a robot and absolutely destroys all the mutants. However, Hazard Shift, Incinerate, Poison does have the Incinerate phase, in which one I'd rather kind of avoid hitting Domino because those that Incinerate damage can add up. So the plan is basically to get to level 2. That's more or less it. Ideally to get to level 2 during the poison phase. So initially here I just want to kind of slow play, parry a bit, build up my charges, build up my armors, everything's fine. Dance up a bit in the corner, nothing too crazy there. Now I'm just going for my level 2. However, obviously Domino is going to get lucky and I need to be careful. Also, parry stand duration is decreased while she's lucky, so I do need to be careful of that. And here I'm going to drop my level 2 just as poison phase ends, but Nimrod's level 2 just does the job. That Domino absolutely disappeared there from that point. Now we're going to need to take a pause here on this Null fight. Now it's actually a very good placement for Null because he's basically going to be spending the entire fight unblockable. And so will I. I actually dueled quite a few times before because the key here is, obviously, I don't necessarily want him to throw level 1s because that will give reverse controls on myself and is going to make the fight extremely more tricky, especially considering that he's likely going to be unblockable. Now, on top of that, level 2 is also quite tricky to fully evade against unblockable Null. I did like 9-10 duels and I kind of got the timing down, but the problem here is even if he connects like one of the hit after the first jump, I'm going to eat the rest of the level 2, and if he gets a couple of crits in that level 2, that can kind of KO me, because that level 2 does hit very hard, and there can be a case with that level 2 that I die if I eat it. So if I can't bait out, if I don't want him to use level 1, and if the level 2 is a bit dodgy as well, well then the obvious strategy there is just push him to level 3. But also the plan here was to get this fight as fast as done as possible. So I'm still on my power stat 1 boost. I'm not going to use the indestructibility boost, but I did do the math and I realized that level 3 from this Null would take about 50% of my health. Now the one boost that I did forget to put on here was the reduced damage from level 3. It's a boost that I pretty much never use. That's why I forgot it. But the plan here is, in short, get to my level 2 as soon as possible, drop that, because that will let me go unstoppable, so even if I get hit, I'm not going to be eating full combos and things like that. And at a point when I'm already unstoppable, then the fight becomes much more manageable, and if he throws level 3, as long as I'm above 50% health, I should be fine. You can see that we're both here unblockable, so I want to kind of be fairly careful and get to level 2 before he does. So I activate my level 2 here, everything's fine, and I do get back quite a lot of power. Now, unfortunately, I forgot for a sec that he was unblockable there. I use my level 2, perhaps I shouldn't have, perhaps I could have waited and just avoided this level 3 altogether, but I knew that this special 3 is not going to KO me. I knew that it's going to be about 50% damage, just under that, like 46% damage, I think it worked out here. And now at this point, I'm just going to use another level 2 that is unblockable and the fight is over. So it's definitely not the best, cheapest, or most straightforward way to take this fight. In retrospect, I think Shang-Chi probably would have been better for that fight. However, here we are arriving at the biggest problem of the war. Now, I have done this Havok fight dozens of times with Warlock. And obviously with the robot and with having armor up, it's not too bad. However, this is something me and our battle group assignment officer both kind of overlooked. The idea is, obviously, Nimrod gains his armor ups every 11 seconds by shifting his modes or by parrying. And the theory is, if armor up lasts 20 seconds and you shift your mode every 11 seconds, that means in theory you're always going to have at least, the 2 armor ups active because you're fighting against mutant. However, as soon as you use special attack, you enter Eradicate protocol, which lasts 16 seconds. And then when it expires, it kind of goes back to where it was. And that means that you'd only get an armor up every 27 seconds if you use a special attack. Additionally, Nimrod does a lot of shock damage and all of his hits are energy hits, which means that Havok is going to be pretty much unblockable for most or all of the fight. So what I'm trying to say is that only way that I would have been able to come out of live of this fight, or at least, play it kind of properly, decently, would have been if I didn't use my special attacks and didn't enter Eradicate protocol. Or use my special attack before reaching 10 charges, which, maybe could have been possible too. However, either way, you can see that at this point he is unblockable. Now I'm going to eat that level 1, but it's fine. I did have the indestructibility boost, I think, up there. That's not the problem here. So I'm going to go for my level 2. My level 2 is going to do plenty of damage there, why not? And at this point we can see that the feedback, the plasma charges are starting to build up on me crazy, and all of my armors are expiring. And from this point forward, I go from 68% to 47% to 26%, and we're dead. 5%, and that's it. So Nimrod was not a good matchup here. Nimrod was not the play to make. Warlock is definitely much better. And this season seems to be quite, I don't know, silly, cursed, bad for me. I was kind of bouncing back with last couple of wars doing well. But now this. Now it's fine, so I did heal up my Nimrod to full, went in there and finished the fight, nothing too crazy. Obviously I was quite annoyed, quite confused, and initially slightly confused as to why. And then I have kitty fight, and this kitty fight I kind of made harder for myself. I definitely could have finished it quicker. I just needed to land 1 intercept, but then again, I'm using Nimrod against kitty. It was never going to be a major problem here. So what you want to do is you want to enter your blitz protocol. So as soon as you do that, you just eat up all of her promises, and everything's going to be fine. Now I do make a mistake there, and I do get intercepted, and she gets up to 10 promises, which is not cool. But again, I'm just going to remain calm, bait out that level 2. And then I just figured I'm not even going to try to do that intercept. I'm just going to deal with, 40 or 60% of my actual damage output and play it kind of slowly. So here, I avoid that level 2. I get into the Blitz protocol. I drop level 2 with that protection active. And, that does plenty of damage. Now she's using her level 1. Again, nothing that Nimrod can't eat in a block, and every time she does use a special attack, obviously she uses up all of her promise, so I don't have to worry about any of that stuff. Now she's going in for another special. She's at 29%, and again, I could have done this fight quicker. I genuinely just needed to get in one intercept, and that's it. But I think at this point I'm gonna go for level 2, but I didn't mess up here because I was not at 10 charges yet. That was just a kind of careless mistake there. And now she's at 3 phase charges, and I'm thinking, what's going to be the plan there? Do I dash in and hit her on block and get close to her, or do I let her phase? Then I realized I can just bait out a special attack and everything's going to be fine. She used her promises, and now I can go in to finish off the fight. So not a great war. I'm still kind of annoyed by that Havok fight, but it's, again, just one of those things where we missed that interaction. It was definitely not the great matchup to bring in for that fight. And, that's the consequence of Tier 1 wars. If you overlook something, you are quite likely to get KO'd. Now, luckily, obviously, we did end up winning the war. So New Nation as an alliance actually is doing well. It seems that when I'm doing well, then the team is not doing as well. And when I am having a fairly bad and awful season, the new nation is all of a sudden playing better than ever. But that being said, yes, we did win this war. At the moment, I think we are third or second overall with the record of 5-1 or 4-1. So we have won 4 wars and lost 1 going into the 6th war now this season. Hopefully, we actually manage to get to top 3 this season. We definitely do have, hopes for that. And that being said, that is it for this war video. Fairly short one. I hope you guys enjoyed it. And I'm going to catch you guys later today when Battlegrounds go live. See ya. Hello there guys and welcome back to the channel. So we have all the information about the next